How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, this video that I'm going to do is going to be a very, very deep video. And what inspired me to do it was when I was listening to Mr. Superboy and Taryn Rain, and they had mentioned, let me take it over here real quick, a series called Black Lightning. Now, I haven't seen it yet, but I did record it for my husband, and I will watch it too as well. And once I listened to what both of our kings had to say about this series, it finally confirmed what I had been thinking all along. So let me go back here. So we all know, my royal family, that next month the movie Black Panther will be coming out. Now, some of the things I'm going to say to the royal family may sound kind of strange to you, but I must speak from my heart the things that I see. And I have let the royal family know a lot about my spiritual experiences. And I am constantly telling the royal family that at one time all of us, and I still feel like all of us, are still empathic. But we have been affected by this system so greatly that we don't fully understand who and what we are. Now, the things that I want to point out to you, my royal family, is that there are messages literally before our eyes what's about to happen. Because I've been speaking of this paradigm shift, and some others too as well that I listened to. And after I had the experience that I had with our father, he told me that there would be messages in titles, messages in movies, messages everywhere. There might even be a message on a bulletin board, on a license plate. And he told me that I would always see the number 17. And one thing that I can truly let the royal family know, the promises that our father gave us will be fulfilled. Now, this is what I want y'all to understand, my royal family. When they say that nothing is new under the sun, I truly mean this. This technology that we have, we already had this technology, and it was way beyond even this. This is nothing. This is like for a preschooler, because you have to realize that the Caucasoids are some fairly new people, so they want to act like they invented all of this. Now, we know that a black man invented the cell phone. We know that the black man invented the internet. We know that the black man invented electricity. Nothing is new. Now, what is going on, my royal family, is that the enemy never intended for the royal family to communicate with each other. And we have hit a plateau, because now we can literally communicate with each other around the globe. So it is time for the royal family to fully understand who and what we are. Now, before I play this video, my royal family, I want to point out some things. Okay. Black Panther. Now, nothing happens without our Father's approval. And there is going to be many messages in this movie, and a lot of us are anticipating this movie. But there is a deeper message. And the deeper message is we are about to regain our throne. When? I cannot tell you all that. Nobody knows that but our Father. And it depicts and it shows black men and women in power, great power, unbelievable power, things that we cannot even fathom or imagine. Now, when these movies come out, my royal family, these caucasoids don't even realize that our Father is using them. And we have to start paying real close attention of something about ourselves. Now, there is always truth, my royal family, in stories. And the video that I'm going to play will reveal truth. So, my royal family, let's continue on with this journey.
It would definitely come from the empires of Zimbabwe. Just about all their kings were Black Panthers. What up, y'all? It's your boy Home Team here. I'm back at it with another video of African history, culture, and worldview. And today we're going to talk about the Mutapa and Rwazwi empires. For those of you that live on the rock, Marvel's universe has created many fictional superheroes that has literally stood the test of time and influenced many people around the world. One of these influential superheroes was Black Panther of Wakanda. Now, Wakanda was a very powerful African nation that had access to the most desired resource in the Marvel universe, vibranium, which is like the plight of most African nations today. Vibranium gave Wakanda riches, power, and technological advancement that the Black Panther sought to protect. Wakanda set itself out to the world as they knew others would try and take this resource and destroy Wakanda. In the Marvel Universe, all attempts to subjugate Wakanda failed miserably. The Black Panther became the pride and joy of African nationhood, and Wakanda a world power. Now, although this is a fictional story, there are some elements of truth to it when we consider the history of the African continent. There were many African nations with Wakanda-like characteristics, but the region that mimicked Wakanda in totality was hands down the Mutapa and Rwazwi empires of 15th century Zimbabwe. These people had enormous amounts of desired resources, power, and even technological advancement that wasn't present anywhere south of the Sahara. First, let's begin with the precursor to the Mutapa and Rwazwi empires, the Kingdom of Great Zimbabwe. The Kingdom of Zimbabwe was a very powerful state that existed in 1220, and its capital was Great Zimbabwe. The Kingdom of Zimbabwe was founded by the Shona people of southern Africa, and their empire began forming around the same time as the Mali Empire in West Africa. Great Zimbabwe's wealth and power allowed the Shona to build elaborate stone structures, which became the largest stone structures built south of the Sahara. And one of the most impressive things about these structures was that the Shona built them without mortar, a technological feat that seemed to surpass other Africans in the region. One Portuguese traveler witnessed the stone structures of Great Zimbabwe and was impressed. The Chronicle of de Barros states, "Among the gold mines of the inland plains between the Limpopo and Zambezi rivers, there is a fortress built of stones of marvelous size, and there appears to be no mortar joining them. This edifice is almost surrounded by hills, upon which all others resembling it in the fashioning of stone and the absence of mortar, and one of them is a tower more than 12 fathoms high. The natives of this country call these edifices Simbawo, which according to their language signifies court." The wealth, power, and technological advancement of Great Zimbabwe literally birthed the Mutapa and Rwazwi empires. Here's how. According to oral tradition, the first Mweni was a warrior prince named Yatsimba Mutota from Great Zimbabwe. He was sent to find new resources of salt in the north. Prince Mutota found his salt among the Tavara, a Shono subdivision, who were prominent elephant hunters, and there he conquered them. He then became the ruler of the Karanga branch of the Shona people, who went on to build the Mutapa Empire in 1450. The empire extended from the southern margins of the Zambezi to the Indian Ocean, but the Mutapa rulers only maintained dominant control over the plateau region. This is when Mutapa began to take on Wakanda-like characteristics as they dominated and controlled other kingdoms throughout the region. The Portuguese began to set up along the coast and began to come into contact with Mutapa rulers around 1560. The Portuguese' main goal was to dominate the trade with India. However, they unwittingly became mere carriers of luxury goods between Mutapa's sub-kingdoms and India. On top of that, the Portuguese had to pay the Mutapa rulers a tribute called curva for being on the coast. The tribute allowed free passage to trade with Mutapa, but if not paid, the Mutapa Empire would seize merchandise without compensation. This actually happened in 1610 when the Portuguese attempted to flex their muscles. Needless to say, it resulted in the slaughter of Portuguese traders. The Portuguese attempted to march on the Mutapa Empire because a Mutapa ruler killed a Jesuit priest attempting to convert him. Very Wakanda-like. This gave the Portuguese all the justification they needed to attack. However, local diseases decimated the force. Mutapa maintained a position of strength and power, exacting a subsidy from each captain of Portuguese Mozambique that took the office. The rulers of Mutapa also levied a duty of 50% on all trade goods imported. Mutapa proved invulnerable to attack and even economic manipulation due to the Mutapa king's strong control over gold production. Mutapa rulers continued to make fools out of the Portuguese. Ironically enough, the actual decline of Mutapa was civil war within the empire itself amongst differing ideological factions. Infighting amongst the Mutapa was Portugal's greatest chance at redemption, as differing Mutapa factions even asked Portugal for help to gain the throne. Portugal was drooling over this opportunity as they saw how they can gain full access to the resources in the region and dominate. However, just when Portugal was about to get a stronghold militarily and economically over the region, the Black Panther shows up. His name was Shangamaya Dumbo, and he really despised the Portuguese. Throughout the internal conflict of the Mutapa Empire, the Portuguese supported one claimant to the Mutapa throne, and Shangamaya Dumbo supported another. In support of his candidate, Shangamaya Dumbo razed the Portuguese fair town of Dembrari, next to the Mutapa capital, and slaughtered the Portuguese traders and their entire following. Shangamaya Dumbo started a new dynasty called the Razwi dynasty. The Razwi not only originated from the Great Zimbabwe area, but still continued to build their towns in stone. In 1695, Shangamaya Dumbo overran the gold-producing kingdom of Manica and took his army east and destroyed the Portuguese fair town of Misiquesi. This allowed him complete control of all gold-producing territory from Batua to Manica, supplanting Mutapa as the premier Shona kingdom in the region, founding the Razwi Empire. However, Shangamaya Dumbo was not done humiliating the Portuguese. In 1693, Portuguese militia tried to take control of the gold trade in the interior by invading the Razwi Empire. Shangamaya Dumbo not only brutally defeated these efforts, but he then drove the Portuguese off the central plateau, making them only a nominal and powerless presence in the region. Shangamaya brought the whole of present-day Zimbabwe under his control and made Mutapa a vassal, completely eliminating Portuguese influence. The Razwi quickly lost interest in Mutapa, however, as they sought to consolidate their position in the south. Mutapa regained its independence around 720, but a series of civil wars ended Mutapa for good. Now, records from the Portuguese indicate that the Razwi people were excellent military strategists. They were even noted as using the cow horn formation way before the Zulu. When it comes to the protection and ownership of their resources, their technological advanced stone building prowess, and their military might, the Shona people of the Mutapa and Razwi empires exemplify the ideals of Black Panther and Marvel's Wakanda. They, like Wakanda, knew the importance of economic preservation as a key to their social and technological advancement. Their uncompromising and unapologetic stance is definitely a model for all Afro-descendant people all around the world. The Mutapa and Razwi empires are definitely one of the greatest prides of Africa. Well, I'm all out, guys, and don't forget, if you guys want to gain access to full-blown African history courses...
Okay, my royal family, like I said before, let's go back over here. Like I said before, my royal family, there is always truth in these stories that they say that may be a myth. And if the royal family was listening closely, because I've listened to that video maybe 3 or 4 times now, they destroyed their cells. The white man did not destroy them. And we all know by now, my royal family, the reason why we were punished because of our disobedience. And me and my husband had a deep talk about this tonight, about that we were so immensely blessed. Things that we don't even know about ourselves. And we are going to start rediscovering ourselves. The time has came, my royal family, that the world is going to have to fully respect us. I say it constantly. We have already demonstrated who and what we are. And our Father made what has happened to us so very painful that we will never, ever forget to. And I thank one of the kings, and I didn't ask permission for his name. I was searching for a word, because our Father don't want us to be proud. But the word I use often is humble, but also have dignity. And this right here, this is what you see as dignity. We have to have dignity about ourselves. So my royal family, as I started out, I was showing, let me close this. I'm going to take that one down. Here it is right here. So there is messages everywhere. And our Father, like I said, again, is using the Caucasoids in this system, even though they're worried about making money about this, because they know that, you know, the way that they think is, oh yeah, these niggas gonna run down here and fantasize about it. There's truth in this, my royal family. And this is very serious. So what I would ask of the royal family, start paying attention to titles everywhere. Everywhere. Start paying attention and listening closely. Pay attention to whatever number our Father assigned you, and you will have a deeper look as what's about to truly happen in the universe. Now, it ain't gonna be pretty. That's already been prophesied. When the wrath do come down, we will regain our throne. We're going to discover that we are more powerful than we ever know. Ever know. Sometimes I would like to share other things with the royal family, and there's some things that I will not be able to share. I have to stay obedient to. There is a limit, and there's things that our Father don't want me to tell the royal family. And so also don't lose sight of this. Black Lightning, which is a series that's going to be on, I think that's the CW network. And that's further, that was the confirmation that I needed. So as I close this out, my royal family, I'm really wondering, how do y'all feel about this? And keep it core with me. What are your thoughts on this? I really want people to truly tap in and tell me what you think of this, the video that you just heard. See what they'll do is they'll say this is a myth. So we're supposed to dismiss anything that we hear, because that's part of the master plan. Because they don't never want us to think great about self. We are truly the true royal family. And like, it's even deep to me, my royal family, even the avatar. I don't know what my father was tapping into when he put the avatar to this channel. And some people have told me that's my family crest, but it's spiritual. I'm still trying to understand the meaning. My husband pointed out something that he's seen in it, and there's just things that we don't know. So all we can do is just tap in as deep as we can, conversate with each other, and then we help each other tap in even deeper. It's like when I did the hangout, The Art of War. I was reading the comments that everybody was saying, the kings and the queens, and I was astounded. We were vibing off of each other. We were really vibing and tapping in to our gifts. So there's something that's going to happen. When, we'll never ever know. But what we need to continue to do to get our house in order, to stay God focused, to tap into your God-given gifts, and to stay on code, because it's about to rock. The Caucasoids are scared to death. They're holding on for dear life, and we cannot worry about their pain and their plight. Like I said before, my royal family in the hangout, these people are so deranged that they think that they can kill our father. Think about that mindset. They feel like they have the absolute power, that once they encounter our father, that they can wipe him out. You know, you got to think about it with the chemtrails, my royal family. They also do that because they can't stand in the sun. So they trying to shield that and poison us and poison themselves at the same time. It gets me when people will say that they have the power to mess with the weather. They don't have that kind of power. Our Father allows what our Father allows. But you have to fully understand, when I say they have killed, man has killed an ocean. That Fukushima fallout is real. You kill an ocean. I ain't never heard nothing like that. And I always say that beautiful prayer. I pray for the many oceans, lakes, rivers, and streams. Every blade of grass, every grain of sand, every flower, every tree, to show Mother Nature full respect. And I said to the royal family, Mother Nature will not get balance until the royal family is fully respected. So that brother did that research. Now, That ain't the only empire that was like that. There was more of us out there just as deep. See, they want to say something maybe about like Shaka Zulu or something like that. You know, because they knew they played a part in the narrative of that. But then when they cannot play a part in the narrative, then the story is a myth. Pay attention to the rhetoric. Pay attention to what you see in plain sight, my royal family. My duty and responsibilities is to get the royal family to tap back into their gifts. And I'm doing the best I can. And y'all are helping me wake up. We're vibing off of each other. The royal family need to continue to elevate. And don't apologize for who you truly is in this universe. And that is also our downfall. It's like we apologizing for our greatness. You don't have to be arrogant. Like the brother said today, have dignity and stand royal. So my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. They are very important to all of us. This video is very important. So my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.